This video is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code MHB at checkout for 10% off your next order. Rockstar have made some phenomenal games in their time, haven't they? You've got banger after banger with Grand Theft Auto, more niche titles like The Warriors and Bully, truly underrated games like Max Payne 3, but for me none of them compare to Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games ever made, with their incredible stories, world, and just general spin of GTA in the Old West. I adore these games, and yet I don't own the platinum for either of them, which cannot stand. So with the Red Dead Redemption PS4 port releasing late last month and removing those tedious multiplayer trophies, I thought this was my perfect opportunity to finally add the platinum to my collection. Well, perfect, except for the fact I had to pay $70 for a port, but hey, let's just suppress that fact and move on. But with the multiplayer trophies removed and encouraging me to revisit Undead Nightmare in its place, I was all in on grabbing this platinum. I was so in, I wanted to be the first one to cover this version here on YouTube, but my slow ass got beat out by the madman Shaz Sheikh, who had a video out not 10 days after it was released. So that put an end to that idea pretty quickly, but hey, gotta respect the hustle. But what is the platinum journey like for Red Dead Redemption? Well, according to PSN profiles, the game ranks a 6 out of 10 in terms of difficulty and should take 70 hours to complete, which would be correct if I was talking about the PS3 version. The PS4 port has no such guide, so we were pretty much winging it on this one, which is a first for the channel. Obviously, the majority of the game is very similar though, so we had the main game covered at the very least. But if you have no idea what Red Dead Redemption is, here's the basics. Red Dead Redemption takes place in 1911, right on the cusp of the end of the Old West era. You take on the role of John Marston, a former outlaw on a quest to, well, you guessed it, redeem himself by hunting down his former gang members for the US government in exchange for his misdeeds to be forgiven. That quest takes us all around the US in basically the Western version of GTA. Instead of stealing and driving cars, it's horses. Instead of ARs and high-tech weapons, it's revolvers and carbines. Not muskets though. Yeah, we're not in the gunpowder days like the older... That's gonna look great. Incredibly basic description, but hey, if you haven't played the game yourself, well, I highly suggest you do that, but it's all you really need to know. And with everyone now caught up, after of course liking the video, leaving a comment if you want to see Red Dead Redemption 2 or any game for that matter get the platinum treatment next, subscribing so you don't miss out on future videos, and going over to twitch.tv/MayorHairBear if you want to see these platinum journeys live. Let's get that platinum. Now, step 1 in this platinum process was probably the most straightforward and predictable. Let's finish the main story and go from there, as there are no missable trophies in Red Dead Redemption and it can all be done after the fact. Doing this, you are guaranteed to grab 7 trophies for finishing the story, 8 if we include the epilogue where we get that sweet, sweet revenge. We'll do some multiplayer forever to charge, okay? Red Dead 3, dude. Yeah, you don't get much for your troubles in the beginning of this process. 8 out of 52 trophies for around 20 hours of work is a big stretch without much trophy action. But thankfully for me, we got 10 more trophies along the way simply because I found myself getting easily distracted most of the time, if I'm honest, and was doing things like completing our first stranger task, getting a ringer in a game of horseshoes on my first game, might I add. Oh, we got it! Captured a bounty alive. I'm not gonna whisper. Hogtied a woman, slapped her on the train tracks, and let nature run its course. Absolutely nailed a headshot while using expert targeting mode, or no aim assist. Completed 20 story missions without switching to a different horse. One of the toughest. Scored 250 headshots. Woo! Defeated 500 enemies with any of the two-handed weapons. And bought the elegant suit and a rare weapon from the gunsmith. That was 20 hours of work condensed into a few short minutes, but that was step 1 complete, 18 trophies down, and a whole heap more to go. Boy, if I knew that would be the peak of this platinum experience, I would have cherished it more. Now step 2 is where I probably mixed it up a little bit compared to many others. Once I finished the main story, I decided to jump into Undead Nightmare next with the intention of just finishing the story for that as well, so that I could go back and forth with the 100% grinds in each experience. For completing Undead Nightmare's tale through the zombie apocalypse, you'll unlock just 4 trophies. Woo! It looks fire. However, as always, we did unlock 3 more trophies along the way by managing to find and kill a Sasquatch. Get back here, you gimpy f***ing... Went to this spot in Mexico where the zombies don't stop spawning right near this cannon to complete the arduous task of getting 500 mounted weapon kills. This is the best spot to grind it out, but it's a 30-minute grind where the biggest threat to your safety is, well, yourself. Well, that was fun. I knew that it was the possibility. This is the rarest trophy in the game beside the platinum though, which baffles me, and had every territory on the map saved at the same time. What? Now, you know when I said I was going to jump back and forth between the main game and Undead Nightmare once both stories were completed? Yeah, that didn't last long, as I basically just immediately buckled myself in to undertake Undead Nightmare's 100% requirements and grab the remaining 4 trophies, as well as any main game trophies I could smash out in the process. Main game trophy wise, Undead Nightmare was a dream, as we quickly got our 500th kill with any pistol. And since we were completing the shorter challenges in Undead Nightmare, also completed the explosive rifle and tomahawk challenges, mostly by accident if I'm completely honest. So we managed to tick off a couple of main game trophies. Unfortunately, the remaining 4 Undead Nightmare trophies seemingly hated me, but that may just be because 3 of them were linked to one occurrence happening. One thing you should know about Undead Nightmare is a lot of the 100% requirements are completely based on RNG. Want to find the 4 horses of the apocalypse or the mystical unicorn? Who knows how long that'll take, especially if you miss it on your first attempt? Yeah, sorry buddy, just ride around the area. I could be back or I could be gone for hours and hours. Thankfully, I missed the most frequent horse, apparently, War, my first time around, so that wasn't too bad, but you know what was terrible? What had me searching the whole of Mexico for hours and hours? The goddamn chupacabra. This piece of garbage had me searching for hours in the same spots over and over again. I tried all times of day. I tried riding in slower to maybe increase the chance to spawn. I tried not looking for it, you know, to bait it out. And this bastard had me going round and round in circles. I also couldn't really do anything else at this point, as the only remaining challenges and percentages I had left for 100% revolved around this stupid animal. So after a few hours, I called the stream and went to bed an angry and bitter man. Now at this point, I'm a broken man. I'm almost 30 hours deep into this platinum journey and I hadn't even started the main game's 100% grind, and as much as I was excited to revisit Undead Nightmare after all these years, I was having a miserable time with these remaining trophies. So I decided to play some off stream to at least hope that I don't waste another few hours of my lovely viewers' time mindlessly looking for the chupacabra when 5 minutes into recording, this happened. There you are, you motherfucker. Holy crap. And to add the cherry on the cake, I just so happened to find the unicorn a minute later. I swear, some streamers have the best luck. Mine must be turned upside down, because when I wasn't expecting these 2 bastard creatures to appear, of course they did. With these headaches out the way, all I had to do was find all the treasure around the map, and maybe 100% was mine. I say maybe because I'd seen this stranger mission in the wiki that I'd never seen before that was apparently random, so I was hoping that it just didn't exist, so that my time with Undead Nightmare could be over. Alrighty, last one. We'll see if this is 100%. Mad Master the Trail Warrior. Attain rank 5 in all Undead Nightmare challenges. Zed's dead, baby. 100%. Yes. After 30 hours, 32 trophies done and dusted, we still had a lot more work to do. So it was finally time we headed back to the main game to complete the last step in this platinum journey, as we attempted the less RNG, but far more time consuming task of getting 100% and mopping up a lot more trophies in the process. So here's the rundown, but we'll get into specifics for the harder ones later in the video. For 100% completion in Red Dead Redemption, you need to complete all the main missions. Duh. Purchase all rare weapons. Unlock all outfits which each have 5 challenges associated with them. Finish each job around the world at least once, buy all properties around the map, complete all the gang hideouts, reach rank 10 in each challenge, complete 8 bounties in New Austin, 8 in Nuevo Paraiso, and 4 in West Elizabeth, finish all 18 stranger missions, win at least once in each minigame, and discover all 94 locations on the map. I'll be honest, the amount of things we still needed to do had me a bit flustered in the beginning. I kept saying I was going to do one thing and then quickly getting sidetracked by something else, and this happened all the time, but somewhat paid off at least early on, as I decided to focus more so on the actual trophies than 100%, even if some did intertwine. I completed the hideouts for Fort Mercer, Nosalida, Tumbleweed, and Tesoro Azul. Safe scummed our way to winning over 2,000 chips in a hand of poker. Yeah, buddy, high roller. What a sucker. Captured the Kentucky Saddler, American Standard Bred, and Hungarian Half-Bred horses. I can't see how to balance. Help me. I tried to get it out of the bush. Completed one of the most uncomfortable trophies I've taken part in and slaughtered all the buffalo. Pretty sure this is the last one. Last buffalo. Manifest Destiny. Well, had to be done for the trophy. Obtained legendary rank or rank 10 in one of the ambient challenges, which for me was treasure hunting to speed along that $10,000 trophy that I needed. Went up into tall trees and spawn trapped the hell out of these bears until I had slain and skinned 18 of them. Barely legal. That was a grind. Finally figured out what the hell I was doing in Liar's Dice and managed to win a game without losing a single die. No dice. Thank fuck. Went back to one of the early missions in the story to quickly knock out a gold medal rank. This was easy and makes me dread Red Dead Redemption 2's gold medal trophy. I feel like a few. Ooh, gold medal, okay. Second try, let's go. And completed 15 tasks for strangers. We got some real work done within a 5-hour span, which was much needed for my own confidence, but was quickly lessened when I realized I still had so much more left to do, and most of it was a slog, I won't lie. At this point, I was sitting at around 81% after 37 hours total, and where 19% doesn't seem like much left, it is indeed an absolute ton still, as most of the tasks we had left to do gave us percentages of a percent. Like for instance, I probably still had around 16 bounties left to complete, and for each one I would get 0.1% to add to my total. Point is, the big stuff that would really up our total was over outside of the challenges, but it was here I made a discovery that really improved my morale, even if only slightly. This port of Red Dead Redemption has all the DLC included into the game. That's outfits, hideouts, weapons, whatever. It makes it look like an absolute boatload of work, but thankfully just the base game stuff is required for 100%, which is 9 outfits instead of 18, 7 hideouts all in New Austin, and 4 challenges instead of the absurd amount that litters that menu. This was a moment of relief because it made me feel like I'd barely done anything up to this point, but that shaved off a good 20 hours in my mind, and with this new vigor, I got to work off stream. As I said, it's still a tedious and not very interesting slog of going from location to location, completing easy jobs, bounties, outfit challenges, mini games, that sort of thing. It's very monotonous after a while, but it was during this phase I finally reached the highest level of fame and honor, earned a total of $10,000, finally found and killed the last animal I needed. It was a seagull if you're wondering. Figured a good way to blow off some steam was to try and reach a $5,000 bounty, which takes so much longer than I ever anticipated, but to knock two birds out also used the Hungarian half-bred to escape the US Marshals, OJ style. And excuse my naughtiness with a pardon letter after all was said and done. Realized I had to buy the map locations from the stores around the world to finally unlock every location on the map, and the big one was related to completing the Twin Rocks, Pikes Basin, and Gaptooth Breach hideouts. Wait, that doesn't sound so big. Well, the reason I waited so long to grab this trophy was because for an outfit, you need to complete all 7 hideouts in New Austin in a single 24-hour period, which is an absurd amount of time in a generous way. I was stressed about this outfit, but I should never doubt my god gamer abilities. It's from this point that trophy-wise we were essentially done, and we'd managed to rack up 95.1%. The end was in sight, but maybe a little further away than I originally estimated. All I had left to do was 9 more bounties and the 3 remaining challenges in Scavenger, Hunter, and Sharpshooter. I figured I was a couple of hours away from the Platinum tops, and so I went live once again to share the last moments of Red Dead Redemption with my lovely viewers. It went off as expected. Yes, the bounties consisted mostly of doing one, then saving until we reached the next morning, rinse and repeat, but it was a simple if tedious process. With that quickly out the way, we started chipping away at the remaining challenges, starting with Scavenger, as I figured it would be the biggest grind of the challenges. So off we went flower picking, inevitably forcing us to travel the whole map for a flower in each region, which is where this awesome bug occurred thanks to my invisible lasso. Brother, I got the... What the f is going What is happening? Well, what a game. Now, the reason I was all the way out here was because I took the opportunity of traveling all over the map to knock someone out in every saloon, which we grabbed not longer after that oddity. I mean, you have a gun, so this probably isn't the smartest. Don't gang up. Fighting around the world, booyah! And now all that was left was the Hunter and Sharpshooter challenges, and this journey was over. The Sharpshooter challenge was basically done, so I decided to focus on the Hunting challenge, and this was smooth sailing and showed our first bit of good luck for once, as we had to kill 2 cougars with a knife, a challenge I'd heard was brutal, but they wanted no bar of me, making this a breeze. Hopefully their animations are just janked so they don't attack me. Yes! Fucking H puppy. This excitement and good luck was short-lived almost immediately thanks to the very next challenge. Alright, raccoons, skunks, and foxes. Don't really feel like I see many skunks out of those. You might be like, seems easy enough, which I'll be honest, I felt the exact same way. But what I didn't know was that whilst the foxes and raccoons would be no issue, these skunks. Holy hell, did they go extinct for me as soon as this challenge unlocked. I mean, talk about legendary animals. This one skunk that I needed to find should have been on that list, because I was scouring the earth for hours and hours just to find a single skunk. I mean, I was losing my mind, squinting like no tomorrow, just staring at the ground for any sign of this stinky bugger. That's why after 2 hours of looking, Google search after Google search on locations, time preference, the lot of it. This was my reaction to finding that last skunk, and fair warning, it's a bigger reaction than I made for getting the platinum. Alright, we're getting close. It says they're most active after 6 AM. Most active... Oh! You f***. I cannot believe how long that took me. I cannot believe. Finally, I could move on from this godforsaken challenge, and to be honest, killing a bear with a knife, way easier. Just be careful of other bears. How many stabs you want to take, brother? You're f***ing joking. What are you doing? No! You why is there so many bears? Killing 5 elk and 5 bighorn sheep, easier. Finding the 4 legendary animals, way easier. But I'm getting ahead of myself, as during the last hunting challenge I made a stop to Thieves Landing, emptied out my pistol until I had 15 shots remaining, and disarmed 6 enemies without reloading with the help of Deadeye, since there was nothing to reload. Thanks to Fishface for the tip on that one and saving me another 40 minutes of stupidity, and made our way into the mountains to take out the last 2 legendary animals. And after 50 hours, I had finally attained 100% completion, the Platinum Trophy, and finally, our time with Red Dead Redemption was over. Redeemed! Come on. Legend of the West. We did it. I'm so over this game. Yeah, finally. I feel so much. I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Alright, get the out of here. Get out! I hate it. Dear Lord. So, after 50 hours in total, holy hell was that so much longer than I was ever expecting. What did I think of Red Dead Redemption, PS4's Platinum Trophy, and the game in general? As I said in the beginning, Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite games ever made, and that still stands to this day. The story, the characters, the gameplay, and world is all phenomenal and really gets you invested into this experience almost immediately. I was very skeptical about forking over the $70 to get this port, but that very quickly went away when I got to experience both Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare again after 13 years. It was amazing in that regard. That Platinum Trophy though, not so much. I already know people are going to bring up the likes of Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 5, or even the PS3 version of Red Dead Redemption and be like, you think this is a grind? Those are way worse. I see it, I hear it, I understand that. Doesn't mean Red Dead Redemption's Platinum wasn't also a hell of a grind. I'd say I enjoyed maybe 30 hours of this journey, like really enjoyed and had fun. But those other 20 hours was just tedium upon tedium, RNG atop of RNG, and that meant by the end when that Platinum finally popped, I was more relieved to be done with it as opposed to proud of the accomplishment. Of course, I'm stoked I have Red Dead Redemption in my Platinum collection now, but is it one of my favorites I've gone for? Absolutely not. I would recommend the PS4 version over the PS3 if you want a single player grind as opposed to a single player and multiplayer grind, but that'd be about it. Proud that I own the Platinum, but oh so happy that it's finally over. Thank you all so much for watching the video. This was really an unexpected Platinum to take on for me with the sudden announcement of the PS4 port. Red Dead Redemption is as highly suggested a game as it comes though, and I'm glad we knocked it off the bucket list. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like because it helps let me know that you enjoyed yourself. Comment below some more Platinum suggestions, maybe some more Rockstar experiences. Thank you to all my channel members for that extra level of support, and special thanks to those in the Bear Club, G&T Puppy, Jackie White, and Nugget. It really does mean a lot to me. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, go give my socials a follow if you fancy at MayorHairBear, join the Discord server to have a chat, go and chuck me a follow on Twitch if you want to see some of these Platinum journeys live, and I'll catch you all in the next video.